Hey guys, how you doing? So I'm here with Amir Bormand, the founder and CEO at Elevano, and yeah, dude, I was gonna attempt the kind of formal route. I really wanted to just ask you a little bit about your experience of working with Pearl Lemon, beginning from your actual, day one, before you were before we'd had a conversation, and kind of what were you looking for, the people that you spoke to, and kind of just talk us through the kind of, perhaps initially, given of course you're a recruitment company, your kind of internal hiring processes as to how you decided that, Pearl Lemon would be the agency you'd work on from the SEO front.
Yeah, so initially the pain point we were trying to solve was just trying to move away from job boards, right? So in the recruiting industry, everyone's centered on job boards, and we wanted to find a way to own some of our traffic. So we figured SEO to at least start showing up somewhere in the first couple of pages on search would be useful for us. So we started interviewing a few different people who could, as a consulting engagement, help us with SEO. And I think the thing we didn't like with the first few people we spoke to, a lot of it was just give me money and let me show you. And we kind of felt like it was a little bit of a fast sale. And then when I talked to you, I think you started to understand the business, understand the long term of what we're trying to accomplish, and you were able to propose, a short-term solution that made sense to build us there. And you're very honest where it's going to take several months. You were very upfront. It wasn't like, hey, just let me, get signed on and I'm going to get you results. You're like, it's going to take 3 to 4 months, and you have to ride it out, even though you'll be questioning, where are those results for the funding of the project. So I think that was really the driver of, what the problem was and how we ended up with you guys. And I think, through the engagement of talking to you, it was obvious that you would find a way. So I think there was a comfort factor. It was kind of discernible that if we ran into challenge, working with a recruiting company here in the States, targeting, sell SEO for services that really don't sell anything, you would find a way to help us rank. And I think that was probably the main driver that helped us feel comfortable to go with you.
Okay, no, brilliant, fantastic. That's really good to hear. And how then was how was the experience of kind of the journey that we've been on? Where maybe month 6, month 7, or something like that. Now I forget.
Yeah, it's been. I think what was really important in the beginning was you laid out a plan. You were very, I think very upfront. You guys need content. Without content, it becomes a challenge to really get the most out of SEO. So it was more of you helping us realize that it needs to be a mindset shift to take advantage of what the platform on search engine optimization can provide. So I think once we kind of had that epiphany that we need content, and I know your team produced initial content, we saw results, and then it was like, well, okay, let's pour some kerosene on this, because that's the only way it's going to work. So we got more vested in actually producing content alongside with you. You did all the mentoring in the beginning, hand holding to kind of make sure we're building content right. And then I think now, once you look forward 6 months, we're actually able to kind of understand what a content piece needs to look like and how to get it out to help impact the SEO. So I think initially, the first couple of weeks, the mentoring piece and helping us understand where we need to get to was probably crucial for our success.
Okay, no, brilliant, perfect. That makes a lot of sense. And I think that what's been nice is that you were receptive to that kind of feedback, and that definitely I have seen from Pearl Lemon's perspective, we've seen almost also an adjustment in terms of the kind of digital marketing piece to what you do as an organization. And I know that's something that Elevano, I've seen transform quite literally as a company, in terms of the way that you're approaching perhaps your social as well as your SEO aspects. So could you talk a little bit through some of the outcomes to the changes you made internally as a consequence of just taking on an SEO agency?
Yeah, I mean, I was initially tasked with coming up with the content myself, and I realized that was the bottleneck. So, and we came to realize quickly that the more content we produced, the more you guys would have an ability to rank for keywords and get traffic for us. So I think it really was the catalyst to go, okay, we need to hire somebody on a contract basis to help supplement writing. And then that became, after a couple of months, let's find another part-time person to come on board to manage that process, because again, bandwidth-wise, we can't get to that volume being the bottleneck. And then we kind of got into producing more graphics and other kind of content for different social. But in terms of like the article writing, the one cue that we took from you and Pearl Lemon was leveraging voice and translating that into content. So we've moved into producing content just by dictation and getting that transformed in an article. Produces 3-4 pieces for different platforms, and again going to my own now personal brand from my blog, the company's blog. I think that all we're seeing the visitors to this site really increase. And that's not even looking at the technical stuff you guys do. Like I don't understand the SEO technicalities, but I can assume that the levers that you guys are pulling with the content has resulted in that trajectory being where we want it to be. So I think we gave you the content that you needed, you coached us to, and I think that's resulting in the increased traffic.
No, absolutely. And to that extent, then, talking as to kind of the technical side of it, I think that sometimes perhaps some of the worries that companies do have is that they're going to be left with both, for example, the content burden, but as well as a technical burden, meaning that an SEO agency submits to you a list of kind of technical changes. How has that process been with you, working with us in terms of ensuring that we're working, work gets done? If you have any questions as to the technical pieces, are they being answered? How has that experience been for you?
Yeah, so questions getting answered, I mean, it's pretty instantaneous. Like somebody somewhere, whether it's email, WhatsApp, or Skype, somebody answers really quick. And we're in California, so we have huge time gaps to London. But even in spite of that, it feels like we're only offline from each other for only a few hours, or whoever's working on the account. So we always felt that the technical SEO side that we don't at all understand, have expertise to, that was all just handled. So honestly, I feel like it goes without thinking for us. It's a comfort piece to go, okay, the SEO is done. It's being handled properly. You mentored us for the content. So it's like, okay, if we produce these pieces of content, we know once we hand it over, all the keywords, all the SEO, wizardry stuff you guys do will just kick in and it'll start working even better.
And how have the results been for Elevano in terms of what SEOs produce for you guys as a business?
Yeah, so I think it's been very impactful from the standpoint of we get the weekly reports and we could see the clicks going up, the pages are ranking. So I think for us, when our goal was to show up on search engine pages where other developers, for us engineers, the candidates we're recruiting might be looking without looking for a job. And we realized, we weren't going to compete with the big job boards for page 1, page 2, but the peripheral topics they were searching for, we could maybe rank on. And, you told us to install some website, visitor tracking stuff. And we see people are landing on our site. We're seeing, the traffic from articles, and then they click around. There's, the bounce rate's gotten better. So I think with the content, you're allowed, you can get that organic traffic, but then also as you have more content, people stay on your site longer, which means now they're kind of remembering your brand. So I think it's very difficult to maybe quantify like a value to it, but we're seeing the fact that people are now recognizing the brand. They're reading the articles. We're seeing how much time is spent. So I think those are to us for all the wins that we were looking for. Okay,
no, amazing. And then, and thank you, dude. It's been a really fun experience. How would you summarize then, from your perspective, the experience of working with Pearl Lemon as an SEO company?
Yeah, I think like you guys have obviously gotten a bunch of awards, have hundreds of reviews. So I think like people can find that stuff out there. People are happy customers. I think for us, like the comfort factor of you and the team, we're very confident that you guys can deliver. So I think any services engagement that you start, you just want to make sure that the people behind it are experts and they'll deliver and work out through your problems. And I think you guys did that. So yeah, so for us, I think it was an exactly perfect, engagement. And I think you guys delivered. And I think the results then, made us confident as we were going initially. And I think, again, accessibility, hey, Deepak, have a question. You were always there with an answer when maybe we were like, hey, we just don't know what the heck we're still doing. And I think all those bits and pieces, kind of led to what we felt was an amazing process with you guys as well.
Okay, brilliant. Well, Amir, thank you so much for this interview, and let's keep on keeping on, brother.
Absolutely, man. Thanks.